I prayed that we achieve our potential, right? And that we snap out of this and that, we become a serious force to reckon with. And again, I talk about the book of Genesis where the serpent tempted Eve. And then if you go and look at the Draco reptilian agenda, talking lizards, if you go look at the garden, if you look at that end, Inky had us in the garden, right? In the garden. And then a talking reptile showed up. A Draco versus an I don't know, a Nibirian. I guess if they're from Nibiru, I guess they would be Nibirians. We call them the Anunnaki, right? Same story. Told from different angles. You're incredibly smart, man. I'll tell you what. I like talking to you right now. You got me fired up over here. So, another question for you, all right? If you postulate, let's just postulate for a second, man, or theorize, for lack of a better word, that they are allowed to show themselves, the Galactic Federation. I do know they knocked the nukes down. I've seen so many videos of people sending me stuff about how, like, they're over. They won't let us nuke ourselves, right? But this is because you're my subject matter expert, Audrey. What do you think that would disclosure look like? How would they introduce themselves to you? How would that look if we gave them permission? If we said, okay, if all the guidelines were met for them to do that, what do you think that would look like?
Well, the number one way that a lot of these ETs come here on Earth is that they don't have multifaceted government structures. Mm-hmm. They have one central government structure that rules their entire planet, and they work together as a huge, giant team as a society. Mm-hmm. And so in order for us to even be noticed by the Galactic Federation is that we do need to have a central government structure across this entire planet. A lot of people say that it's evil, that's going to take away our rights. Like, why is that? Like, why do we think that? Like, if we had a central government structure where we're contributing to the fundamental understanding of the human race, like a lot of these ETs, how they got here, build the vehicles to even come here and show up, their race had to learn to work together and create that central government structure. Mm-hmm. That's how they can fly all across the galaxy and travel and stuff, is because they have a unified government structure across their entire planet. Why is it that they don't want us to have a centralized government structure? I'm not talking, like, I understand a lot of people see it as evil, but why do we see it as evil? Why can't we just think that, how do we get it from not becoming evil? Right. Like, why can't we elect actual good leaders that aren't, like, corrupted and, like, all this stuff, like you see the Greys, you see all these stories about these different ETs. How did they come here? Mm-hmm. How did they get to that fundamental stage of development in their race to essentially build an entire vehicle? They didn't do it because they had multifaceted government structures across their entire planet where we have borders and stuff like that. They have a centralized government structure where their entire race contributes to the betterment of their entire species.
Right. That's a good point.
And in order for them to actually come to Earth and actually show themselves, is that we do need to have a unified government structure. It does not necessarily mean that it has to be like a dictatorship and be evil. It just has to be a government structure where the entire fundamental understanding of the human race can learn to work together as a fundamental team to contribute all their resources, all their knowledge, and to create a better future and a better understanding of the human race. And that is our focal point. I can understand, like, how fundamentally difficult that is, mm-hmm. and how fundamentally scary that is. But if you think about it, look at these other races. They have a centralized government structure. they were allowed to build these incredible technology to the point where they can reach multi-stars and actually come and visit us as a underdeveloped species, because they have that type of government structure, because they work and think as a team, as one central race.
Gotcha.
Why can't we do that for us as the human race? Look at the entire potential that we have as a human race. Imagine, instead of fighting over resources, like, let's contribute as the human race. Let's stop fighting over like which religion is better or whatever. Let's work together as a team to figure out whether or not these religious teachings or other stuff is holding us back, to unite as the human race, to order to reach to the stars and to develop a more prosperous and better humanity, a better future for humanity.
Yeah, that's good points. So a lot of people fear the New World Order. They fear the one world government, and rightly so. When you look at our leaders, a lot of them, you say, yeah, imagine if they had all that power to go into it. And again, the leaders around the planet, all of them would have to step down and pick one, and they all think that they would be the best one to go forward, and it would just create nothing but strife and nothing but fighting. And well, we see it right now, right? And it leads into like economic warfare, which it totally takes place. I mean, I was having a conversation yesterday about how you could easily do away, at least especially in the United States of America, you could end poverty in America in one day, and homelessness in one day. I mean, there's only 380 million, Americans here, and you send, billions and billions and billions and billions away. If you took $1 billion and gave each American 350 million of them, if you gave them all $1 million, you'd still have like 650 other $1 million to do with whatever you want to do. They won't do it. And it's the reason why they want you to keep doing, chasing just enough to survive, right? It's my buddy calls it the debt slave model of economics, right?
Yeah, my fundamental message is for people is like, I understand that a lot of people think that these ETs are evil and they're doing this stuff, but this should motivate us as the human race to come together as the human race to develop a system where we can all learn to work together and pool all of our knowledge together to unite as the human race. This just should not be something that we fear, but this should motivate us as a race.
I agree. Well, Audrey, we're running out of time.
Subscribe now and turn on the notifications to join us on this extraordinary journey into the unknown.